Hey everyone, and welcome to AWS Cloud Security Foundation series. Today we are diving deep into Lab 3.1, which is using resource-based policies to secure an S3 bucket, which is a guided hand-on approach. It contains six tasks and one challenge task. In total, there are 25 activities to perform before submission the lab. The normal time to complete this lab is 60 minutes, but we can do it earlier. In this lab, we are focusing on S3 or simple storage service where we can store critical data. But simply having it in the cloud isn't enough. We need to control who can access it and how. That's where resource-based policies comes in. We are focusing on resource-based policies, especially bucket policies. In this case, allow us to directly attach permissions to S3 buckets. Think of it as gatekeeper, determining who gets to enter and what they can do inside. So, in this lab, uh, we will focus on creating S3 bucket, then creating bucket policy to restrict access, and testing and validating our policies to ensure it's working as intended, and understanding the difference between user-based and resource-based policies. For this lab environment, actually, we need to start the lab. From by clicking this start lab, our lab works, whereas it takes some time to uh, start the lab because it is starting a new work environment for us, a new virtual machine for us with some previous configurations and all. So it may take from 1 minute to 2 minutes. So after that, let's see the lab that what is actually here. Uh, in the very first, we are recognizing how to use IAM identity-based policies and resource-based policies to define fine-grained access control to AWS services and resources, mean that at the lowest level. And after that, how an IAM user can assume an IAM role to gain different access permissions to the AWS account. And in the end, actually, we will focus on some one basic resource that is S3 bucket, that is storage bucket, and how I am using the IAM based policies and with certain roles, we can access those resources with different rights. The normal completion duration is 60 minutes, uh, but we have time of 2 hours, so we can complete the task in 2 hours. The scenario is, but the scenario is this one where we have to log in using the IAM username and password, and then there is some developer group, and that is having some policies restricted to it. And we should be able to access some EC2 instance, and we should be able to access different storage buckets named as bucket 1, 2, and 3. And we have to create some other buckets also, some policies that are restricting us to completely gain the control over these buckets. So in this lab, that how we can do. The first task is accessing the console as an IAM user. For that, we already started the lab. Starting the lab, it may the time start, but we have to wait until this is green. So it is green now. So from here, AWS details, we can have the credentials of the lab. So from here, actually, we can have this link. This link will allow us to open the AWS console. In here, we a special account ID is associated with each user. So we have to enter. So ID is associated with that, and here we can have a user, uh, which is this one dev user. So we have to use the username as dev user, and the password is given here. So we have to use this one. So everybody has a unique password, so they have to log in into the working environment. So once you are here in the working environment, now we need to start working on that. Task one is complete. Once you are logging into the system, the task is completed. So the second thing is attempting read level access to AWS services. Now we have to see that what kind of services we have, what kind of access we have to the system. So it's first time some. Okay, first of all, according to this guideline, we have to go and see what we have regarding the EC2 instances. So from the services, we can write EC2. So from here, we can access the instances which are available to us. Here we can see that there are all API errors, means that we are not able to do anything. There are all the services are restricted. Here, one thing to notice is uh, in the AWS, most of these services are associated with the cloud service, main cloud service as APIs. So, for example, if you want to launch the instance, here we can give the name definitely, and then after that instance type we can fetch that one. But when we will be able to add some security key pair and all for the security purpose also, so we'll not be able to. So we can see if there are instances associated, but we are not able to. Even we are not able to see the instances that are assigned to it. So next thing, API errors, not able to do anything. So next thing that we need to see, that is storage bucket, that simple storage S3. In the same way, services to S3. Uh, from here, we can see that there are three buckets already generated. So this is bucket one, bucket two, and bucket three. Basically, it's long name, and this bucket one, bucket two, and bucket three is in that due to one reason that it's created the name, and then we specify a name embedded in that. So three buckets listed. Access column display message insufficient permission. Whenever we do anything to that, there is less permissions associated with that, right? Okay. Next task, that is task number three. After task two, task three is analyzing the identity-based policy applied to the IAM users. So now we have to see that what policies are applied there. So we have to see access the IAM console and observe a user and group members. For example, here from the services we have to go to IAM. IAM. So IAM policy, yes, that is here. Here we can see these this console, identity and access management console, manages user groups, user role policies, identity providers, account settings, and then many other reports associated with that. But here we have a dashboard is access denied, and IAM resources access is denied. So we are also limited to do the things here. So now what we have to do, we have to go and on the notice that we don't have permissions. Let's see the, and then there is developer group. In that developer group, on the user tab, see the dev user. There is dev, right? There is dev user, and in dev user, there is some policy associated with that, that we can see of the IAM group. Choose permission tab, and in that permission tab, we can see that there are some restrictions there, and then there is developer policy is attached to that. So we can see here that one policy, and this is some you can say accesses and denies are defined here. So this is a JSON file. According to the requirement, we can see this file. We have to copy JSON file in Notepad, for example. So it's both, so we can close it anyone. So here, okay. So we have this developer policy. So in developer group policy, we can copy this JSON and we can create a Notepad file and save this data, right? So with the name, like here we can see that what should be the name of that. So that is developer group policy.json file. So when we are going to save this file, save, if we want to save it, we can save it as JSON file and this one. So yes, so we have saved this file developer group policy.json, that is already here, and here you can see action, and there are multiple things. IAM, there are some policies associated with IAM, what they can do. Then there are some logs, what they can do with the log files, and then there are some policies associated with the S3 bucket. So some like accesses are like defined. So we can create the bucket, we can see the buckets, we can list the buckets, put access public access block, and then there are some restrictions are also there. So let's move further. So we have saved this one. Now come to the task 4, that is attempting right level access to AWS service. Now they to like focus on the task is will attempt to make two API calls that require write level access within Amazon S3. Now we are trying to write something on the Amazon S3. The action is to create an S3 bucket, and the second action is to upload an object to the bucket. After you attempt the true task, you will again analyze the policy attached to the IAM group to analyze why you should or could not perform the specific API task. So in this task, we are going to create one bucket, and then we have to add files in the bucket. We have to write on the bucket, right? So let's see how system is supporting us. For that, we have to go to the Amazon S3 console. S3, and from here we can access S3. So in this S3, all the buckets will be displayed here. So we have to create the bucket. So let's create the bucket. The bucket name is, for example, we say SBUCKT 435, well, just some random number. And then this is the location where it will be saved. And now we are not going to make any other change here. So just create the bucket. There might be some issue, so we'll manage it. What is saying insufficient permission to apply default encryption. Okay, we are not focusing on that at the moment, but we have successfully created bucket. The name is bucket 23456, right? So we can see here that S bucket 23456 is there. So we successfully completed this first task. After that, we have to upload. Access the bucket. You access the bucket and attempt to upload an object. Choose the name bucket that you have created, and then we have to add any file. Here, whatever file we have created now, we have to upload it only, right? So what you have to do, we have to focus on this one, and then upload file, and then There is add file, and for example, we have got many files here actually. So developer group policy, and then we have select and upload. So let's see how it is behaving. It is asking that upload failed. For more information, see the error column in the files and folders. So there is some problem. Why? We have created new bucket, but we are unable to write anything on that. So it means that we have restricted something here. So in that case, we have to close and we have to move further. All right. Uh, okay, close it to do here. And now review the policy detail for Amazon 3 access. The document that we created that is showing us we can create, we can list the bucket, right? But we cannot write on it. We haven't allowed it to write anything there, right? Any policy is defined. So there is one file that I will show you now that will allow you to see that there are different policies and we need to make it active here, right? So that's why we are unable to do the things. To access those policies and the special, like you can say the names and everything, uh, you have to go to IAM documentation. In here, uh, you can see this service authorization reference as document. For example, you can download it. It's as a PDF that is having, I think, more than 6,000 pages. It contains all the service authorization reference things with respect to each and every element or resource that is available in the cloud, in the AWS cloud, right? So in here, action and resources. From here, you can search S3. For example, control S3. So you'll be able to see this one, Amazon S3. So action, resources, and conditions key for Amazon S3. So here you will see one table that is having actions. That if you want to grant access, you have to use this one with respect to any special thing, right? So this is like a long document for the permissions or for the like denial of the services, right? So you have to go through this document. Okay, next come to this next step at task number 5. Task number 5 states that assuming an IAM role and reviewing a resource-based policy. So in that case, we have to see the existing buckets that we already have. So which are bucket 1, 2, and 3. So let's go to so I'm going to close this one and then this as 3 buckets. Here we have. So let's see that other buckets are performing in which way. So bucket 1. Bucket 1 contains 2 images, image 1 and image 2. Select the image 2 and download. We have to try the download and then that is here. So there is another error. Dev user is not authorized to perform S3. So another problem. Next come to the S3 console, choose your browser back button and see the now focus on the bucket 2 and see image 1 is downloadable or no. So again back bucket 2, select this one, try to download. I think the same error, right? So dev user is not authorized to perform. So back again and now We have now we know that we can create the bucket, but we are at one and bucket two. So we have to go to the Amazon S3. Now come to the point 15 that says that we have to change the role, user role. At the moment, we are a dev user, and then we have to change the role. So for that, we have to go here. And here we can see the user change the role. For changing the role, we have another role that is called bucket access role. We have to go with role, and account ID is the same as we are having here. So we will say account ID will be the same, right? And this one, and then we have to switch the role. So the account role is switched. Now the next thing is what you need to do. Uh, Switch the role, and then we are already switched the role from bucket access role. Now we can see rather than dev user, now there is bucket access role. Try to download an object from Amazon S3 again from the bucket one and from the bucket two. Let's try it. For example, buckets and bucket one. We were not able to download anything from here, so we have to download, and so it is storing here. All right. So next thing that we have to go to the bucket 2 and start a download. We have we can download it here, right? So previously we were not able to, but now we are able to download. uh, Test IAM access with bucket access role. Now go to the IAM for bucket access role. We saw that we can perform some activities. Now see IAM policies. Can we change the IAM policies or not? For this user, now go. Let's go there. In here, we are not able to do anything. For example, we want to see user group. Previously, you were able to able to access that user group. Now we are not able to, right? So there are some restrictions with respect to IAM access for the bucket access role. Means that we have some limitation, but we don't have every access. So assume that the user role again in the upper right corner, choose bucket access role and switch back, and now we can see that we can do the things. For example, if we revert it, switch back, it means it will automatically go to the dev user. So in this user role, we will be able to see the user groups as well as we will be able to see these users. So means that we are able to do the things here. So now come to the analyze IAM policy that is associated with bucket access role. Now we have to observe it. So in the left pane, there is roles. Here we can have different roles. So now we have to see which role we want to see. We want to see this role, and we can see the policy associated with that. The policies associated with that list all bucket policy, grant bucket one access, get bucket policy. So we can see the policies here, list all my buckets that all the buckets can be shown there. Grant bucket one access, like a get object, list bucket. So we can download this one because this is here bucket policy. Here we can have get a bucket policy, and effect is allow for any resource and all, right? So all the policies, all the grants that are given to that can say a bucket access role are mentioned here in these policies, right? So choose the arrow, and we have seen that grant bucket one access, right? We have seen these policies here. So we have to do another task, that is grant bucket one access uh, policy and save it as JSON file. So grant bucket access.json. So let's see, grant bucket one access, that is here, and we have to copy, and then we have to save it in our document and name it as that is given uh, this one, right? And then save it, right? So now we have grant bucket one access document also. So let's see what is the next thing. Complete your analysis of the bucket analysis access rule details. Back to the page and choose the trust relationship. See the trust relationship that is here. So we can see that with user, dev user, we can modify the access policies. We can create the access policies. All right. Notice that dev user in the list is as trusted entity that can assume this role. The person, the role that can change the policies. Right. We have already seen that the other role was not able to even see this IAM policy, but this dev user is able to do the things. So now come to the other thing, that is point 22, assume the bucket access role and try to upload an image to bucket 2. To assume the bucket access role, again in the upper right corner of the page, choose dev user. So we have to upload the file. At the moment we have dev user, so S3 we have to move again. And then in here we want to we have to go very specific to that. So choose bucket 2, add file, upload file, bucket 2, and try to upload the file. At the moment many things are disabled, so upload file, we want to upload the file, add files, well this one. So start upload. The error is there because dev user is not authorized to upload any data on this one. All right. So after assuming the bucket access role, you successfully accessed bucket 1 to download the object. Then you can upload the same object on bucket 2, right? So we are okay. Uh, Here we are switching back to the bucket access role. So switch role to bucket access role. Actually, it is not saved, so no problem. So bucket access role is not here. That will be here, and then 7 something was there. Might be take. No, it is not taking. No problem at all. So we can this one from here again. No problem. And switch role, bucket access role. The bucket access role, we can see the permissions that we are, this policy is associated with the bucket 2, right? So this policy is mentioning that we can write effect is allow role is only bucket access role on the bucket 2 policy, right? And whatever other thing they can perform, that is list bucket using the bucket access role, right? And this is bucket 2. So all the information that is mentioned here, on the basis of that, only bucket access role is able to write on the bucket, right? It can upload or it can download the file from here, right? So this 22 is completed. Next thing that is, and after that, definitely where we are able to upload or de-download the files on that we already done. From here, actually, if you want to upload a file, we will be able to, sorry, add file, and then we have to select image 2 and then choose file and then just much into detail and just upload it. So we will be able to upload the file. So here we can see that the source based permissions are granted in there, right? So again, if you want to say it, you can say from S3, because we're focusing on the storage only. So S3, and then we are going to select the resource, and then we have to see the permissions, and in permissions we can see the bucket policy, that who is able to access the files or who are restricted to access the file. So this is done using the bucket access role only, right? So now come to the other point, that is understanding resource based policies. In this task we will inspect bucket policy that is associated with bucket 2. So we have already saw that permission tab, and then we have seen this bucket policy. The first is S3, right? That we already discussed. That is allowing us to write in the bucket to the upload or download the files to make any change. So that is the way. Instead of the role, we get the access using the resource-based policy. Previously, we saw the user-based policies, and then it is access-based policy, right? So now come to the challenge task. It is also not too difficult. Actually, we are having bucket access rule, and we did multiple things. Now, your objective for this challenge task is to figure out a way of uploading image to file to bucket 3, right? So try to upload the file as dev user. We have to move back as dev user and try to upload this file on the bucket 3. So let's try it. Return to the switch back, dev user. Try to upload the file in the bucket 3 is this one. Try to upload a file, upload that file, and want to upload this one, for example, right? And this one, and then just try to upload. Definitely it is not allowing us to upload the file, right? So with no role is assumed, and assume the bucket access role, attempt to upload this one which download from bucket 1 earlier. Upload the file, and after that check whether bucket policy is associated with bucket 3. See the bucket policy that which is associated with this one. So we have to see again permissions and see that who is able to. So this dev user don't have any access to see the permissions on the bucket tree, right? Means that IAM dev user is able to do the things that are associated with the user role, but doesn't have access to the resource policies, right? So we cannot view the bucket policy now. So now come to the bucket for access policy, and let's try to see the policy as well as we have to upload the file. So now again, which one is the bucket access role? So we have to change bucket access role and try to see bucket uh, 3 and see the permissions that it also having the same SID S3, right? Allow and to write using the other bucket access role, using the other bucket access role, right? At the moment we are having bucket access role here. Let's assume, let's try that we want to upload the file here. For example, we are not able to do anything here. Everything is disabled. Even upload and download is disabled. So the policy says that it is only accessible using this role. So we have to copy this role and we have to change the role. We have to switch the role. Now we have to come with other bucket access role, and here we have 7 7 something. So that is not like reading automatically. So we have to copy, and then we have to run and then switch role. So let's try to upload or download the file on the bucket tree. Because according to permission, we have other bucket access role and we are login as other bucket access role. So let's try here. Let's go to bucket tree here. What everything was disabled, but now it is enabled to upload anything. So now we are trying to add a file and image 2, for example, we want to add, and then select this file and upload. So here we can see that the file is successfully uploaded. So the challenge task, your objective is to figure out a way to upload image2 file, and we already managed the way that we have created. We have login as new bucket role, and then we uploaded the file on the bucket 3, right? So now it's time to submit the task. So submit it. Are you sure? Yes, we are sure. Generating submission report as well as it is calculating the grades. So let's see. Now every step has been done. The core objective is done also. So let's see what is the submission report. That is task code 5. Challenge task is was found in the bucket. Everything is created bucket fine. So see the grades. So the grades are 5 or 5, like 15. And in the grade here, we can see also. So this is completed successfully, right? Okay, thank you very much.